great man, one of the most popular figures in American sports, Art Rooney. Beals returning the kickoff out to the 20-yard line. Stuffed there. Lewis Lips on a reverse option pass.
The Steelers told us the other day that they have been working on this play. Little razzle-dazzle here. Lewis Lips comes in motion. Now he's going to get it on the reverse. He's got two guards out in front of him. Pulls up. Has a great arm, man. Throws it to Merrill Hodge in the end zone. They told us they've been working on some razzle-dazzle down there on the goal line, and indeed it's very effective for him today.
Anderson with a point after, and the Steelers have taken a 10-0 lead. 2:55 to go. First quarter in Pittsburgh. At Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. The quarterback is Jim Finks. Pretty handy. L.B. Nickel catches a 52-yard touchdown pass. The Steelers go on to beat the Eagles 17-7. Jim Finks now the general manager of the New Orleans Saints.
Lead block, and that's going to spring Williams into the secondary of the Eagles. There it is right now, right there, that lead block by number 33, Hodge, and that springs Williams out, and now he does a nice second effort deal down here downfield.
The stop, 25-yard gain.
Key to this play, Bubby Brister sets back deep like he's supposed to at 9 to 10 yards. Is very calm in the pocket and picks out Hodge coming across. Hodge again, low to the ground, gets that extra little yardage. And then you see Bubby Brister, he's a little pleased with that.
Eastern Division was a fledgling franchise in only their 4th year of existence, the Miami Dolphins. But after those dark days, 3 years later, their star rose to heights never before reached. Don Shula's team was the undefeated Super Bowl champions. 1985, the AFC East basement was occupied by the hapless Buffalo Bills, winners of only 2 games all season, the low watermark for the franchise. But the skies have begun to brighten, and now, 3 seasons later, the Bills have the best record in the NFL. Buffalo hoping that they too may be on a cycle that elevates them from the cellar to the Super Bowl in 3 seasons. The Bills have seen the bad times, but this season's 9-1 record has them relishing the good times.
Being back here in the 2 and 14 days, and that especially at this time of the year, when the weather starts getting cold and you're going out there and you're actually playing for nothing other than to just get the season over with. Now it's so much easier to go out there because you know you have something to work for.
Well, the last time I was on a winning football team was my junior year in high school, believe it or not. So for me, this is the greatest feeling in the world to be on a winning team. We're 9-1, we're on a roll, and hopefully we can keep it going and get into the playoffs.
Well, before, it was nice to go to a restaurant and people just like give you a private table in the corner because they didn't want to be near you. Now they want to sit at your table, you know, and say, hey, you know, what's going on?
It was great, not just for Jim Kelly and some of my teammates, but for the whole city. Last 4 or 5 years, it's been tough on everybody, and it's about time. And we've worked very hard, and I think we deserve it. But again, we have 6 more games left.
The first of those 6 games for Kelly will be tonight against the Miami Dolphins, and he'll bring into Joe Robbie Stadium the physical skills of the consummate NFL quarterback. A great arm, strength, durability, and a competitive nature that can lift an entire team. And Dan Marino will be at quarterback for the Dolphins, one of the greatest pure passers to ever play the game. He's averaged over 30 touchdown passes a season in his 6-year career. 2 of the game's finest at quarterback tonight as the Buffalo Bills meet the Miami Dolphins on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football.
To Miami, Florida on a beautiful South Florida evening. Temperatures in the high 70s. A slight breeze is stirring. Joe Robbie Stadium, less than capacity tonight. for a meeting between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins.
Too many. We're back in Miami. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, and Dan DIERDORFF as the Miami Dolphins have the ball at their own 31-yard.
Seals does right here. Watch the pickup and then into the ground. And the referee, Gordon McCarter, is saying, I've been blowing the whistle for 3 or 4 seconds before this happens.
And he almost got involved in it.
Yeah, he almost got his legs caught underneath there. No wonder he threw the flag.
Took him down as if he were a bottle of Chardonnay.
Here it is. Took down like a bottle of Chardonnay.
As if he were.
Bills, we have watched him tonight, and he has performed once again in Pro Bowl fashion. But it's been an up and down season for Bruce Smith as we watch him here in the first half. 6'4", 285 pounds, incredible quickness, incredible speed. So Bruce Smith, a major factor for the Bills in their resurgence. He's had an up and down season. As I've mentioned, he had a drug suspension. And this past week, Lynn Swann caught up with him at his home in Norfolk, Virginia.
Bruce Smith grew up the youngest of 3 children, a pudgy little boy who was 30 pounds over the limit to play youth football. He was the fat kid that everybody teased.
I had a lot of instances where I would come home crying or things of that nature, and it just built up inside of me, and it compelled me to be the best that I could be.
When the fat kid grew up, he became a standout athlete in every sport he tried, earning high school leathers in 4 varsity sports. He played his college ball at Virginia Tech. Despite the school's low profile, Bruce was the top pro prospect in the country on draft day 1985.
First choice, first round, belongs to the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo selects defensive end Bruce Smith.
By his 4th season with Buffalo, Bruce was one of the most feared defensive ends in the league and a Pro Bowl MVP. He had resoundingly answered the taunting kids of his childhood. Bruce Smith had come a long way. But then he faltered. Smith tested positive for substance abuse and was suspended for 30 days at the beginning of this season.
It was a difficult time for me, and most importantly, I'd like to apologize to my family, my friends. I have made a mistake, and I paid the penalty for it, but there's one thing that I want to leave with everyone that brings that point in mind is a diamond was once a piece of coal that did well under pressure.
It is the 11th week of the season, and Bruce Smith has come home to Norfolk. His mother, Annie, has made a special dinner, the kind that made her son chubby as a boy. But the real reason he's come home is because his father is ill.
He's had 3 heart attacks, and he also has a pacemaker in his heart. And I just want to be there if something happens, and he just means so much to me, as well as my mother and the rest of my family.
Bruce has filled his parents' lives with the things they never could have afforded themselves. A beautiful house, an expensive car, and a fishing boat that symbolizes the closeness between father and son. From the time that Bruce was a child, the two would spend weekends fishing on a smaller 14-foot boat. Even then, George Smith could tell that his son had special talent.
I noticed that he was better than the other kids, but becoming the athlete that he is today, I had no dreams. But believe me, I guess I'm one of the proudest fathers in the world.
Always George and Annie's baby boy, Bruce Smith carries his family in his heart wherever he goes.
We talked to Bruce earlier this evening.
With a very hard and late hit here, the rookie out of Florida.
And Jim Kelly had declared himself. I'll be anxious to see this from the end zone to see how far out of bounds he was.
Not going to matter. We've seen this all year long. And Jarvis Williams, the rookie from Florida, does have the reputation as a hitter. And I think he's a little bit confused. I think he probably could have got away with this in Florida, but not the way they're calling it in the NFL.
Well, you know, how far out of bounds is Jim Kelly? I mean,
Williams is looking right at Kelly.
Look at him work the sideline. He's still in bounds, still in bounds. I've seen a lot worse. I know that that's a quarterback, and he's obviously made his decision to step out of bounds. But that, I wouldn't call that a flagrant cheap shot.
And Williams is not looking at that sideline either.
I mean, I think the officials are correct in throwing the flag.
He tries to go for the ball now. Watches Mueller. Never did control the ball. Bounces off the pad. Now the ball is loose.
Oh, man. How do you...
Klein does not know. I don't think that the ball is even free. He's just holding on to it.
Oh, boy, that's a tough call. How does Klein know that Mueller doesn't have the football? How do you call that?
That's tough.
Oh, man. I mean, hey, the name of the game is tackle the ball carrier. Jackie Klein sees Mueller coming at him. Since when is a defensive guy supposed to make a determination whether or not he's got the ball? First of all, if Klein knew the ball was laying on the field, Klein would have gone after the football himself.
That's Tom Olivedani.
Other than what I said.
Meanwhile, it's still Buffalo's ball. And a catch made at the 34-yard line by Rob Riddick. A pickup.
Really, John gets no help whatsoever. Riddick is able to slide off and then fall into the end zone.
He was anticipating the leap by Riddick. And afraid of it, huh, Craig?
Goodyear, an asset that would be.
You could keep talking about a running game. You've got total concentration, my man.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Was Dan saying something?
That was a test from the truck, and I hope I passed.
3rd down and 7.
Hello, Dan DIERDORFF. Woo! Hello, Dan DIERDORFF. Woo!
All right, you're finished.
Yeah. In Miami, Buffalo on.
Rolling Stones. 97.
Yeah. Well, at 31-6, it sounds like a rout, but if you weren't with us at the start of the second half, the score was 10-6 in favor of the Bills. They had the ball. Miami appeared to have recovered a fumble, but it was ruled that Mueller was being tackled on the play in an attempt to recover the fumble. That kept possession for Buffalo. They were able to take it in for a touchdown, and if there's a key play in this game tonight, that's the one.
And what are the odds of Don Shula being on the phone to Art McNally, the head of the NFL officiating crews, tomorrow morning, bright and early? Art, I know you're listening. Get in early, because the first call is going to be from Shula.
It could be a 24-hour hotline.
That'll be an incomplete pass.
There's a little shovel there. It's incomplete. That's a forward pass is what it amounts to. Jaws. Ron Jaworski is the backup quarterback for Miami.
Cornelius Bennett doing his job, number one, get upfield, and then attempting to react back to the inside, and almost came up with that ball. That would have been an interception if he would have somehow been able to control that, but he did the next best thing, just totally disrupted the play.
2nd and 10 with Marino out of the shotgun from the 25. Clayton makes the catch, and he's out to the 33-yard line, short of the first down by about 2. Big year for Mark Clayton.
What a catch it was. Thrown behind him, put the hand out, and pulled it in with one hand.
And the Dolphins going to the hurry-up offense, the no huddle.
3rd and 2 from the 33. And Marino hits Clayton, and a first down. Clayton taken out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Clayton, in the last year of his current contract, Duper, you might recall, was a holdout, and Duper's not having a very good year in the first year of his new megabucks deal, and Clayton thinking about his future negotiation and putting himself in a pretty good position right now.
Isn't that the way it is more often than that? Mm-hmm. Whether the sport be football or baseball or whatever, there seems to be that element of hunger that drives you to the better performances when you know that it's going to have a direct relationship to what kind of a contract you get.
Duper has only caught 1 touchdown pass this season, which is pretty amazing when you think about the fact you're a wide receiver on a team with Dan Marino. Clayton, on the other hand, has caught 7. On 3rd and 12, it's Fred Smerlas. Good piece on him in Sports Illustrated. Yep, it's me.
Encroachment.
He knows it.
76 defense made contact. Still 3rd down.
His brother has a master's in psychology from Massachusetts and said I needed to get all of the information I could so I could understand Fred.
Here's Fred right here, and this will be Fred back about here before this play is over with.
Hey, he has gone to 4 Pro Bowls, but the last time he went was back in 1983, but he is playing Pro Bowl ball once again. Rejuvenated, Fred Smerlas.
A wild and crazy guy, as they say. 3rd and 7. And the catch is made out at the 40-yard line by Freddie Banks. For a 1st down. 3rd catch of the night for Banks.
You talked about Duper only having the 1 touchdown. Marino threw for 359 yards last week and only got 10 points out of it. And a loss to New England.
Clayton taken out of bounds at the Buffalo 48-yard line.
You know something that's interesting, guys, is that here in Miami, some of the people that call into the talk shows and some of the writers and some of the local papers are saying maybe the game has passed Don Shula by. And isn't it incredible that some of the most, some of the winningest coaches in this game's history can take the heat they can take from both fans and from some of the press. I mean, I'm thinking of Tom Landry in Dallas, and Chuck Noll in Pittsburgh, and of course this guy Don Shula. Now, somebody's going to have to catch me in a rare mood to convince me that the game has passed this guy by.
Me too.
The guy has 1 losing season in 21 years as a head coach. That, to me, of all the achievements, 6 Super Bowls he's been to, is the most remarkable thing, that he is in only 1 losing season.
I think the thing about Don Shula that has impressed me the most is his adaptability. And I'll talk about it after this play.
On 2nd and 8, Clayton makes another catch. Boy, he's really padding the stats on this drive. It's his 4th catch of the drive, and he's out of bounds at the 42, 3rd and 4.
You know, football coaches have this stigma of inflexibility. I have a system. You will conform to my system or you will not play. And here is a classic example of the guy that adapts the system to meet his players. When he had Zonka and Kick in that great offensive line, they ran the football, ran the football, ran the football. He didn't have that running game, but he has a quarterback named Marino and receivers like Duper and Clayton. So what does he do? He leads the league in passing. I mean, to me, I think that's a tremendous compliment to a coach in his ability to read his players and mold the system around them.
He's done it any way he's had to. 3rd and 5 as Marino has his pass dropped by Clayton at the 40. It wouldn't have been a 1st down anyway. It'll be 4th down, and they'll go for it. 4th and 5 at the 43-yard line. There are the numbers. Again, Marino, as we mentioned at the outset, his numbers very good. 3,008 yards in 11 games, 16 touchdowns, 57%. He's had 4 3,000-yard seasons now, but it's been a very erratic year for Marino, and in a way, tonight's game is his year in microcosm.
For a quarterback of Marino's caliber to have the same number of interceptions as touchdown passes is not good. A quarterback of Dan's capability should have a 2-to-1 ratio, touchdown passes to interceptions.
And he normally does. On 4th and 5. And it's picked off by Shane Conlon, the 3rd intercept for the Buffalo Bills.
Again, Marino just trying to get rid of it. And of course, down 31-6. You can excuse that one. Spectacular catch by Conlon.
It was maybe the best catch of the night. Trumaine Johnson made one coming over the middle for Buffalo that sticks in my mind. But watch this. I mean, but the sidearm throw, jumping up in the air, and that's a pretty that ain't all bad, guys. Little one-handed stab by Shane Conlon.
He'll find himself in the short yardage team. Stay on it, Craig.
That's about the only celebrating going on tonight at Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami.
You're speaking of the running game, Dan.
Well, they have to cheer. They're paid to do so. Well, we're even getting some audio.
But he wouldn't mind a few more of those.
Imagine how that would feel in Buffalo in January.
Oh, yeah, right.
They would never hit the carpet.
No way.
Bicycles.
No way.
Marv wouldn't move again till May.
It's over in Miami, where the Bills win it 31-6. Back in a minute.